light variant of the Delaware Adams. Much the same, it's just I've got a different tail on it. The wing is a Grizzle wing, Hackle points, but it's just an Indian Grizzle, which is like not as well marked, but it's really nice on the fly. But I'll show you how to tie it. It's reasonably simple. Now, the hook I'm using is a Kamasan. It's a B170 size 14. Thread I'm going to be using is a uni thread in white. I'm just going to start the thread maybe a mil or two down from the eye, and then I'm going to bring the thread to about halfway along the shank. So a bit of wax on at that point, and then I'm just going to bring it up around about 2 mil from the centre of the shank. Now, as I say, the hackle, or the wings are going to be formed with the hackle tips. So to get 2 hackles the same length. I'm not going to be too fussy with this, I'm just going to give the impression. Now in the original they like a nice rounded hackle, but this works, this is okay. So you've got the front of the hackle, so I'm going to get them so that the fronts are facing one another, which will cause the natural shape of the hackles to come away from one another to give that the spread of the wing. Now length of the wings, and from the length of the hook to the length of the shank, just tie them forward, pinch and loop on the top, 2 or 3 turns, lift the hackle points and then put some thread turns in front to lock them in. Not onto the hackles but just in front, just to basically lift them up, force them up. And there we are, there's your hackle tips, points for your wing. As you can see it looks okay. And then come to the back, and then run your thread down the body. Now we trim it slightly, just a taper, trim away that excess. And then we tie in the tail. I'm just going to come to the base just as it starts to come round the bend. As I said, the tail is some bronze Mallard. Just looking for half a dozen fibres or so. Just line the tips up. Length of the tail is round about the length of the shank, length of the hook. I'm going to do a single turn on top and bring the thread turns underneath, and then pull, and then one on top to still lock them in, and you see how it spreads the fibres. And then trim it full length of the body. Now there is a palmer and there's a palmered hackle. So what I'm going to do here is come up, tying in these tail fibres, which should take you around about halfway. Now the palmered hackle is a Grizzle, this is a Grizzle cock. Just going to remove some of the fibres, tie on the side with the hackle facing forward, and then come down, tying that in as I go, and at the same time tying some olive dubbing. Now you could use a floss, but I'm using an olive dubbing, just a dry fly dubbing. Just take my time. Now I have a slight taper there, so always be nice and tight so that you're tying everything in. Looks good. It's an unusual way of tying in the body, but what you're going to do is when you come back up, you're using the thread as your rib and as well for holding your body hackle. So we check, just going to go back a wee bit here. If you're not happy, go back. Just want to tighten this up a wee bit. Try and take a nice wee taper in the body. That's fine. Take away your excess. This is your body hackle, and then it's 1, 2, 3, into your 4th turn, come across with your thread, and then just rib the body of the fly with the thread as you go up, and then simply trim away. There we go. See how things are sitting? Looks okay. Now in the Adams you have 2 hackles. You've got an actual brown and a Grizzle. So Basically what I'm going to do is get a Grizzle Hackle, and this is a saddle again. Length of the fibre, you're looking for 1¼ to 1½ the length of the width of the gape. Now I've just removed some of the hackle fibres from the stem, and then I'm doing the same on the natural brown, and this is a saddle as well. Just wind your thread down, give yourself plenty of room, bring your thread turns in front, down in the stems, and same thing going forward like these two hackle fibres, just trim them away. You can see how the wings are sitting. These are going to be slightly longer. They have to be longer so that you can basically see them. Now we're going to wind our hackles down. Now you're looking for 2 to 3 turns either side of the wing. So first hackle is going to be the brown, the natural brown. There's a couple of turns there. Just get in front of the wing. Just watch you don't trap the wing down with the hackles, so just lift it out of the way or pull it back. And up against the thread, get 2 or 3 nice tight turns. Trim. Got wax. And a couple of turns to make sure it's not going to move. And now with the Grizzle, do the same. 2 or 3 turns either side. Cross the thread. And nice and tight down. Trim away the base. Check. A wee bit of wax on your thread which helps to tighten everything up. Keep it nice and tidy. Now when you whip finish, again a wee bit of wax. Just a rub with the finger to take the excess off. And there we are. As I say, it's a slight variant of the Delaware Adams. As I say, it's a famous catskill fly. And you get a tiny bit of varnish, get your dubbing needle onto your thread, onto needle and then onto your thread. So finish it off. All the way around. And there we are. You see, it makes for a nice wee fly.